You know what got us here, right? You know what got us here, right? Let's stop pretending about what got us here. What got us here was racism. People so wrapped up in their skin identity that it takes over everything. Politics, business, decorum. It takes over professionalism. That's what's got us here to this point. And the fact that we've never really addressed it. We've never addressed it. Oh, I've got stories. I've got stories that it would be very hard for America to listen to. Because if I tell my stories, you will have to address the issues that are plaguing and has been festering in our country for at least the last 200 years. And it doesn't just plague our country, it plagues the whole world. We know this. The only reason we have a president that was elected to office with the shit that he's done was because of racism. I'm just a normal guy. I work with my hands. I only went to college for a couple years. But it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this shit out. I grew up in, as, let me rephrase that. I grew up in a town where my family was the only black family that was in the town at first. And then over time, there was a few more and a few more. But for a while there, we were the only ones. I had friends because we were the only black family. They let us in the house. They let me in the house. I could hang out with my buddies. But it wasn't so simple as that. Now, before I go into my story for you tonight, I'm going to tell you like and subscribe my channel. There's a lot of people out there that want me to talk about this stuff. But I'm going to talk about it. Because I seen it. I lived it. And I seen it. Oh yes, I grew up amongst you white folks. White folks on both sides of the spectrum. And when I say spectrum, some of you white folks are really on a fucking spectrum. You see, because I grew up in that town, I had good schools and good teachers, and they taught us all this stuff about patriotism and loving the Constitution and loving America's freedom and crap. And I believed it, and I internalized it, and I did. and I still do to this day. I'll never give up on my country. But I always knew there was a segment of white folks that would betray us. I was confused as a kid, bruh. So I'm not so surprised to see a majority, and it might be a slim majority, of white males voting to try to take us back to some other time where they're on top for no reason other than the color of their fucking skin. It's too late for that shit now. Yeah, we're speaking off the cuff tonight. I'm speaking off the cuff tonight. Let's just sit down and talk. Let's just sit down and talk together. I'll tell you the truth. You look at me. Tell yourself the truth. Here's a story for tonight. Alright, so I'm a young kid. New white family moves into the neighborhood on my block. They're from Colorado. I'm a young black kid. I've been going to elementary school. I'm in middle school. This new family moves into town. 4 brothers, 3 sisters. The brothers were older than the sisters. The youngest of the brothers became my friend. He was curious about me. So I started hanging out with them. My parents were good parents. They were both corporate parents. Good parents. I was lucky. They planted us in a white neighborhood, just to give you an idea that my parents struggled to get us in that kind of environment with a good school and a good neighborhood where we could ride our bikes around the fucking whole neighborhood. Never had to worry about nothing. But this Colorado family moves in. I start hanging out with the youngest brother of them because we were similar in age. And they start using the N-word. I had never heard it before, so I started saying it too. I'm hanging out with him and his brothers, and they're laughing and stuff, and I didn't know what the fuck they were laughing at. And I'm sitting there talking about N-word this, N-word that. And then his father heard me one day. He heard me and his brothers talking, and I had used the N-word, and they were using the N-word. And he pulled me aside. I don't know what he said to his sons, but he pulled me aside. And he said, Jerome, he said, frontside buster, don't say that. He explained to me what that word meant. And that I shouldn't say it and don't let anybody hear me say that. So over the next couple of days, I did go back to my friend. And I asked him, why would you have me saying stuff like that? Why would you have me say stuff like that? You know what he told me? He said that's just how they talk where they come from. And that they don't mean nothing by it. It's just how they talk. It's just how they talk. If I knew now what I knew then, we would not have been friends. White people are fickle. When they need something, they'll go back to their group. I'm sorry about it, but that's the reality in America. And Latinos, they're jumping on board with that stuff. Especially the light-skinned ones. They think they're white. I'm just telling the truth. And that's only the first story. I've got more. I'm going to be bringing more to you. This is Front Side Buster. Everything comes through me. I want to give a shout out to Joe Madison, the late Joe Madison. My inspiration. I intend to be a voice for all of us, not for just black people, for all U.S. citizens, all of us. And I'm going to teach you some lessons about how to navigate this fucked up society that we have built. This is our fault. The reason why we are in the position we are now in is because we did this. I take responsibility for this too, for not coming out earlier, for not fucking speaking out earlier. We can all have nice things, and we don't all have to agree on everything, but we can agree on our fundamental rights and the fundamental idea, which is the purpose of our government, which is written in the preamble to the Constitution. The purpose of our government is to promote the general welfare of the public. Welfare. To promote the general welfare of the public. It was not set up to send all of our tax dollars to the rich and then tell you that you gotta pull yourself up by your fucking own bootstraps. No, they're supposed to provide for us if we have a fucking government. They are supposed to provide opportunity for all of us. That's the purpose of the government. Anyways, I'm getting too pissed off now. Maybe I'll see you guys tomorrow, eh? people died for us. A lot of people died to get us to where we are. The richest nation on earth, and look what we're doing with it. You have a right to be pissed off. You have a right to be angry. And I think it's hell damn time to get angry. It's damn time to get angry now. This is FSB. Deuces.